On January the 7th, 2026, during the large federal immigration enforcement operation in Minneapolis, a 37-year-old woman named Renee Nicole Good was shot and killed by a U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement ICE agent while sitting in her car. She was a U.S. citizen, a poet, and a mother of three. Almost immediately, statements from the White House and Homeland Security took a hard line, calling the woman's actions domestic terrorism.
You asked about a shooting that we just had in Minneapolis, Minnesota. It was an act of domestic terrorism.
Defending the ICE agent's use of deadly force as justified self-defense.
What happened, it was our ICE officers were out in an enforcement action. They got stuck in the snow because of the adverse weather that is in Minneapolis. They were attempting to push out their vehicle, and a woman attacked them and those surrounding them and attempted to run them over and ram them with her vehicle. An officer of ours acted quickly and defensively shot to protect himself and the people around him. And my understanding is that she was hit and is deceased. We're continuing to gather more information, but this goes to show the assaults that our ICE officers and our law enforcement are under every single day. These vehicle rammings are domestic acts of terrorism. We're working with the Department of Justice to prosecute them as such. We will continue to protect our ICE officers and in cooperation with other law enforcement agencies as well.
Yet, video clips, eyewitness accounts, and reactions from local officials told a very different story.
Donald Trump said that Renee ran the ICE agent over. Don't take my word for it. Don't take their word for it. Watch the video from every single angle. I mean, the ICE agent walked away with a hip injury that he might as well have gotten from closing a refrigerator door with his hips. He was not injured. I've seen worse injuries from doing that. And so give me a break. No, he was not ran over. He walked out of there with a hop in his step. And so we just got to get to the point where we're at least operating from, hey, this is like, we're looking at it on the video screen. This is what we're seeing. Can we all see that it wasn't run over? And then, J.D. Vance, this concept of absolute immunity is pretty bizarre.
Tonight, we ask, why is this not just what it seems? Why has the reaction from the federal government fueled outrage? Who is the ICE agent, and why do so many feel Renee's life was discarded? And why Minneapolis again?
Change our plates every morning, just so you know. It'll be the same plate when you come talk to us later. That's fine. U.S. citizen. You want to come at us? You want to come at us? I say go get yourself some lunch, big boy. Okay.
Out of the car. Get out of the car. Get out of the car.
Oh!
Renee was in her car in South Minneapolis during a federal immigration raid where federal agents surrounded her car. Video shows an ICE agent approaching the vehicle as she tried to leave the scene. The agent opened fire, hitting her multiple times. She was pronounced dead after being taken to the hospital. Federal narrative. DHS Secretary Kristi Noem and the White House portray Renee as a threat who weaponized her vehicle and attempted to run over federal officers. President Trump echoed this defense, saying the agent acted in self-defense. Local and eyewitness account. Minneapolis officials say the narrative is false and contradicts video evidence. Some videos show Renee trying to move her car away as officers approached. Residents near the scene described her as fearful and not resisting officers. If Renee was trying to leave, not attack, why was deadly force used? Number 1. Domestic terrorism labeling. Calling a civilian motorist a domestic terrorist before an independent investigation sets a political tone, not a factual one. Why this matters? Law enforcement fatalities are traumatic, but labeling someone as a terrorist without evidence strokes fear. It shifts blame onto the victim and preempts public scrutiny. Politicization. White House officials and right-wing lawmakers use the incident to justify aggressive immigration enforcement. Opponents see this as using a death to score political points.
What happened yesterday in Minneapolis should terrify every single one of us. An ICE agent fired 3 shots, killing a 37-year-old unarmed U.S. citizen, Renee Nicole Good, as she was driving away from ICE agents on a residential street in Minneapolis, Minnesota. Her death leaves a 6-year-old boy without any parents. And we on this committee should be immediately investigating this. We should bring Kristi Noem to us. We should have that conversation. But instead of conducting an investigation and doing the work to hold this rogue ICE agent accountable for killing a U.S. citizen, Kristi Noem has gone on a full-fledged lying spree, spreading lies that any person who watches this video can see are lies. She even had to get the President of the United States to go on social media and continue the lies.
Social media commentary and news statements have already diverged dramatically from what publicly available video shows. Is the federal narrative a defense posture or a deliberate effort to shape perception before facts have emerged? Kristi Noem is the U.S. Secretary of Homeland Security responsible for ICE, CBP, and federal immigration enforcement. She strongly defended the ICE agent, described the incident as an act of domestic terrorism. Noem's language goes beyond law enforcement protocol into political framing. She repeated claims agent was dragged by a vehicle before, agent injured, that have not been independently verified. Local leaders, including Minneapolis' mayor and Minnesota's governor, sharply rejected her narrative. Is Noem defending institutional authority or shielding ICE from accountability? Jonathan Ross is the name being reported by multiple news outlets as the U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement ICE agent who fatally shot Renee Nicole Good on January 7, 2026 in Minneapolis, though official government agencies have not formally released his name themselves. Here's what is publicly known or widely reported so far. He's reported to be a veteran ICE officer assigned to ICE's Enforcement and Removal Operations ERO Special Response Team, a technical unit used in high-risk operations. Multiple outlets have identified him as the agent who fired the shots that killed Renee Good during the federal immigration enforcement operation in Minneapolis. Court records and reporting link Ross to a June 2025 incident in Bloomington, Minnesota, where he was seriously injured after being dragged by a fleeing vehicle while attempting to detain a suspect during an ICE operation. Local news outlets have connected that officer from the earlier incident to the shootings in Minneapolis. It's important to know that the Department of Homeland Security and ICE have not publicly confirmed Ross's name as the shooter in official statements. His identity is based on reporting from the Star Tribune and other news outlets. Because his identity is emerging through journalistic reporting rather than the government release, there is ongoing debate about name publication, privacy for law enforcement officers, and public interest, especially given the intense controversy surrounding the shooting of a U.S. citizen. Why it feels like life discarded. Number 1. Inconsistency in narrative versus video evidence. If video evidence conflicts with the government story, people assume a cover-up. Number 2. Policies that increase use of force. Aggressive enforcement tactics raise the probability of civilian deaths. Number 3. Location matters. Minneapolis remains symbolically charged after George Floyd's murder. A federal agent killing a civilian American in the streets rekindles deep mistrust. Number 4. Community reaction. Vigils, protests, and public demands for ICE to leave the city show widespread dismay. Do policies that treat force as the first response devalue civilian life? What happens next? Pending investigations, federal and local agencies are probing the shooting, but local officials complain about transparency, national implications, immigration enforcement, executive power, and community safety Renee are now central political battlegrounds. This isn't just a one woman's death, it's a reflection of how power, narrative, violence, and justice are contested in America today. This case is not just about Renee Good, it's about who gets the benefit of the doubt and who doesn't. It's about power, narrative, and how quickly a life can be reduced to a press release. If the story you're told doesn't match what you see, if questions are labeled as disloyalty, if accountability is framed as an attack, then the real danger isn't disorder, it's silence. So sit with this, rewatch the footage, read beyond the headlines, ask why the rush to judgment came before the investigation. Ask why Minneapolis again became the stage where authority met a civilian and only one walked away. And ask yourself this: if Renee's life can be dismissed this easily, whose life is next? If you believe these conversations matter, if you think scrutiny is not hatred and questioning is not extremism, then like this video so more people see it, subscribe so we can keep digging where others stop, and share this because silence only protects power. This isn't the end of the story, it's the moment we decide whether we're paying attention. I'll see you in the next one.